Hi everybody, welcome back to Mando Lessons. My name's Baron Collins Hill. Today we're going to be talking about an experience that I think everybody has been through. You know, you're trying to learn a new song or a new tune, and you hit that one spot where you might have to make a chord jump to a new chord you haven't played that much, or that one little phrase in the fiddle tune you're working on just really isn't coming out super smooth and you're always messing it up. You know, often I'll find in my own playing that I'll get it kind of good enough and then just kind of breeze through it and never really fully fix the problem. If you've ever had any of those experiences, I want to talk about the 4 steps that I use today to kind of work through some of those problem spots. So this idea kind of popped into my head in a conversation I was having with my buddy Dan, who's a member of the Mando Lessons Academy. Short little shout out for that. We've got a Tune of the Month project, monthly live streams, a really awesome community that I'm so happy to be a part of, and it's just like a really fun time. If you're looking for a way to sort of energize your playing, check out the link in the description to the Mando Lessons Academy. Anyway, Dan and I were talking about a trouble spot in a particular tune, and it made me think like, I guess I have this little routine that I go through whenever I find one of those in my own playing. I ought to make a video about it. So here we are. Without further ado, step number 1 is you need to figure out where you're going wrong. You can't fix something if you don't recognize that there's a problem. So, and again, this goes back, you know, sometimes it's very clear and it's like, wow, this phrase is hard. I'm not getting it right. I can't even keep time. And sometimes it's a little more subtle. Like there's a tune I'm working on called Catletsburg, and it's got this phrase. And that little phrase always gives me trouble. I can get it, but it often comes out kind of not so clean. So we're going to use that as an example. So that's my problem. The rest of the tune is fine. But every time I come to that, you know, I can get through it. I can keep time, but it always comes out a little sloppy, a little mushy. I'm sure you know the feeling. It's they can really kind of stick in your head that way and stick in your playing. So whether it's a problem area in a tune or a song that's just like stopping you cold, or if it's maybe just a subtle little thing, these steps are the same. So you got to figure out where it is you're going wrong. A couple ways you can do that is you can record yourself playing and then listen back while you're not playing along. That can often lead you to hear things that you just can't hear when you're playing yourself. As hard as you think you're listening, sometimes just the act of, you know, playing the instrument makes our ears kind of lie to us a little bit. So recording yourself is a great way to figure out trouble spots, or maybe you just feel the trouble, or it's stopping you cold, and you're just like, well, here's the problem. It's pretty apparent. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is take it out of context and slow it down. So I would say, okay, yep, there's that problem. I've identified it. Step number 2 is just take it out and slow it way down and get all the sort of little issues worked out. That's a great opportunity to work on the pick direction, make sure every note's coming out clean. Often, pick direction, honestly, is, for me, 90% of the problem if I run into a phrase that's causing me issues. Often it'll just be like, whoa, this is a little weird, and I'll realize that my pick direction might have kind of got mixed up, and I got my pick direction backward. That is a classic place that I sort of run into issues. In this one, it's not so much the pick direction for me, because it's just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, but it's just the stretch. I'm going 1, 0, 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 2, 3, 1, 0, 5, 3. So it's a stretch from that first fret to the 7th fret, and then the sort of weirdness of going first, 2, 3, 1, 0, makes your left hand have to kind of jump around a little bit. So that's, I guess, a little more identifying kind of what the problem is in there by slowing it down, and you're going to say like, okay, so in this example, it's really that stretch and sort of keeping nice and loose, keep an eye on your pick direction. Step number 3 is just repeat it. Get it going, put it in a loop, and just play it clean, and play it as slow as you need to in order to get it clean, and loop through it 10, 20 times. You really can't overdo it once you realize kind of how to fix your issue. Then you just gotta kind of reprogram that little phrase in your brain. again. 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 You get the idea. I'll spare you the woodshedding, but you know, that's something that you don't see. You never see other people practice. At least not a lot. You don't see the hours that people put into playing, even if they show up and are amazing musicians. There's a lot of that behind it. There's a lot of just repeating stuff slow. It's not glamorous, but it's all about retraining your brain to get the sound, brain and fingers to get the sound that you're looking for. So, step 1, identify. Step 2, slow it down and fix it. Step 3, repeat it. Step number 4 is you got to put it back into context and then start speeding it up. So let's put it back into context. I'll play it slowly in context. I got to remember where that phrase is. Nope. And then you loop that. Make sure it's all coming out clean. Didn't quite hit it, so it's hard to practice and make a video at the same time, as a lot of folks are discovering in the Tune of the Month challenge in the Mando Lessons Academy. It's recording is a real skill unto itself. Anyway, that's the idea. You're going to put it back into context of the tune and then slowly bring that speed up, which clearly I'm not ready to do because I'm still flubbing it slow. But that's step 4, and those are your steps. So you're going to identify the problem. Step 2, take it out of context and slow it down. Fix it. You know, figure out where you're going wrong. Step 3, repeat, 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 repeat. Step 4, put it back into context and start bringing the speed back up. Hopefully you found that helpful. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in another one.